Hello everyone and welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, where we're enjoying a summer of games announcements and celebrations. Join us this week as we talk about our favourite video game reveals, ponder extraterrestrial life, and revel in an unprecedented amount of horror news. Or I do at least. The perks of being the host, eh? Let's jump in. Hello everybody and welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, the official podcast of PlayStation UK, where this week we're going to be talking about the best game reveals in celebration of all the brilliant announcements happening right now. But that does not lend itself well to titling, is what I will say for people's names. So to do this, to introduce my lovely host of guests here. I don't know why I'm calling you guests.
We are
Thanks
your
for
guests.
joining us, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
To announce my co-host names, I asked Rosie earlier for a random word.
Oh my god! Oh no!
What's
Rosie.
to theme the punny names around. So you can thank Rosie for this week's theme of cheese.
Is that the word you said? Just cheese?
Ash was like, think of a word, I went cheese. Because there is a reason why cheese just popped into my head.
It wasn't lunchtime or anything?
No, it wasn't lunchtime. It's because I'm hoping my parents will come around this weekend, but apparently traffic's going to be very busy because of the cheese wheel race. That's
Right,
happening.
I wondered where you were going with that.
Because my parents prefer cheese.
Can we try and guess what your part? I like
Don't
we
look,
make
yeah.
it a competition.
Okay.
I reckon I know what you've called Dave
Yeah, what?
and what you've called yourself.
Oh, no. What?
Well, what have you got? You're gonna have to say.
Wensley Dave.
Oh, that's so much better.
I've got one for you as well. Rob 4.
I mean, that's
What? Rock 4?
like too clever, David. You've picked like a really sort of like fancy cheese.
I feel like the wind has been taken out of my sails here.
Meanwhile, I would have been probably like Davy Bell for Dave.
And you got to be Gorgonzola, surely.
No, let me tell my names. I don't like this.
Come on then.
I don't
Out
like
with it.
Let's
this.
hear them.
Okay, so I am mascarpone.
Yeah, that is good.
That's-
Yeah,
that's
really
good.
Thank
Really
you. Rosie is Monterosi Jack.
That's all right.
That's good. That's got cadence. Monterey Jack, Monterosi Jack.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Dave is, and it could have been one of two. It wasn't Wednesday Dave, which is like way better. It was either going to be Che Dave or what I picked, Goo Dave.
For God's sake. Like Gouda. Right?
Oh,
Or is it Gouda?
I always thought it was Gouda.
Oh, I don't know.
Goo Dave.
Either way, it doesn't matter because it doesn't really matter. I'm Goo Dave.
Goo Dave. Rob, and you are one of my favourite.
Mozzarella.
No, what?
Mozzarella.
No.
Mozzarella.
Stop! One of my favourite cheeses, Brie. So you are
Oh, not Brob. Not Brob again.
Rob.
Brie is one of my favourite cheeses as well. It's great cheese, to be
But
fair.
I knew you would complain about it, right? So I came up with another name, which was Rob Cafort.
That's what I
what
said.
Dave
I
said.
know, but you can't say that's what Dave said because I wrote this ages ago.
Yeah, but Rob 4's better than Rob Cafort.
I don't know how to say the cheese's name. I just point and say that one. Oh my God, I literally hate this so much. So we're going to move on so that I can start introducing the other features. So first things first, we will go to a main feature, which will be our favourite game reveals, E3 moments, PlayStation Showcase fun stuff. Basically just all the moments that had us shivering in our seats going, ooh, it's cold in here, but also with excitement. We're then going to move on to comments of the week, which are community highlights from the hashtag Pod Squad.
Pod
Squad.
Thank you, everyone. Then we'll go on to Before We Go, which is some coverage outside of gaming, where we prove we are real-life flesh people. But first, the question remains, what's new? Okay, everybody, what is new?
What's new?
I have a devilish list of delights for this week's What's New.
Excellent.
Because I'm really sorry, because I know you're all going to go, ugh, but it's just all horror games at the moment.
Really?
How?
I know, it's
It's
due.
not, though. It isn't.
This is through a
Yeah.
filter. This is mediation right
Oh,
here.
no, because I like to look at what's out in the week and what's come out like the week before, because we're like a fortnightly thing. So,
I've seen the PlayStation Store video. There's loads of not horror in it.
well, maybe for some, but I don't know. So recent releases. Yesterday, Grey Hill Incident came out on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, which I'm just laughing, sorry, because everyone's looking at me like, go on then, tell your little horror games. Grey Hill Incident came out on the 9th of June, and it's a game about a bunch of aliens invading the town of Grey Hill. So they're like these little greys walking around, like, and you have to like attack them, and they're getting sucked up into spaceships. It's like playing Signs, honestly. It looks so cool. And you get to talk to those people, and they're all wearing tinfoil hats as well.
Oh, God. But they're right to be, apparently, it turns out.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nice twist.
you would put, there's a little bear that wears a tinfoil hat as well.
Oh, now I'm sold.
Yeah, honestly, it looks really scary because like I have alien fear. Like I do have alien fear. And
what do you mean? As in, like, you think that it's possible and that scares you, or just you know that if it did happen, you'd be really scared?
One of my defining childhood memories of being scared at a film that haunted me was the Brazilian party scene from Signs, and I've not been able to cope with alien stuff in the same way since. If it's done really well, kind of like The Fourth Kind as well, and Dark Skies, that scene at the end. So it's just kind of embroiled within me to have this little alien fear. Also, I definitely watched Fire in the Sky too young with the scene, or is it? Oh yeah, I think it's Fire in the Sky. The scene, the like vivisection scene where he's wrapped up and the tube goes in his mouth.
Oh dear.
Oh, God.
I've not seen that.
I haven't seen it, but I don't like anything going in.
Yeah. He's
Ugh.
like, he gets wrapped up in plastic and there's all these aliens looking over him, like poking and probing, and this big tube goes in his mouth. It's just him screaming over and over again with his one eye out. It's like, it's horrible. It's really horrible. But Grey Hill Incident.
Fantastic.
Hey.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think I'm really excited for this, but yeah, like aliens they get me so bad from all of these little films that I've watched, and just like general social media stuff, and the idea that aliens like are out there and observing us, and all these theories on greys and everything.
Yeah. There definitely are aliens.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Whether or not we'll ever see them, don't know. But
Maybe. That came out weird. Maybe.
Hang on a minute.
There is one reprieve from the horror nonsense I'm going to subject you through in this section, though, with the Plus games that have come out for June. So we've got a cute little lineup here. Yeah, you're like bristling because I know you want to talk about Trek to Yomi.
Yeah, I do. I'm really amazed that you remember that I finished it. I loved that. I've really enjoyed it. Yes, Trek to Yomi. It's so beautiful. My PlayStation is just chock-a-block with screenshots of it, like a kind of extremely Japanese film-inspired samurai game with really like fun combat. But honestly, it's so striking. That's what kept me going through it as much as anything. It's just the way it looks.
Perfect.
So
I'm really excited. I didn't play it first time around.
I really want to play
it's
it.
really lovely.
I'm going to pick it up now for sure.
Yeah.
Woo! Trek to Yomi is gorgeous, so I'm really glad that that's on there. There's also Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Welcome.
Dinosaurs.
To Pathetic Park.
Yeah, there he is.
yeah.
Was that
Favourite.
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
There
it's
we go
great.
then.
My daughter used to love playing Jurassic World Evolution 2 as well.
Yeah.
And she just had no sort of appreciation for each dinosaur might need from its living habitat. So she just... all of the carnivores were put in like fences that were just big enough to wrap around their bodies. So it was just like T-Rexes just stood there like... And everywhere else was just full of herbivores, just like Brachiosauruses, just all over the place. He just filled this place with just wall-to-wall dinosaurs. It's like, I've got so many dinosaurs. It's great. And they all just died of hunger.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
she used to get
God.
annoyed at them. I was like, you've got to feed them.
Yeah.
Should have given them some Actimel. Would have been
Yeah,
fine.
I would have loved that.
God.
Great callback there.
Yeah, that was good.
You're welcome. So we've had a game for Dave, we've had a game for Rob, and now we've got a game for Rosie. NBA 2K23. Yeah, well, it's basketball.
That's basketball.
I did used to really love playing basketball as a kid.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
There we go.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I
what's
genuinely, after Space Jam, I loved, but I really wanted to
I
play
love that
basketball.
Space Jam is the one.
Yeah, Space
Amazing.
Jam was what made me really want. I used to have a basketball hoop outside my house, which I couldn't use a lot because we had like a pebbly, stony drive. So every time I bounced the ball, it just went the other way.
To be fair,
But I still
The
tried.
most ridiculous thing. Where should we put the hoop? Over this completely inappropriate ground? Yes, that's right.
NBA
So bounce
2K
it.
games, they're always like, even if you don't know much about basketball, it's very easy to appreciate how good those games are. I find
tell that
just
to Nathan.
very, very good.
Yeah, they are. The understanding of like the broadcast is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like insane. But I'm not good at them. I'm bad at them. Very bad at them.
Thank you for clarifying that. I did wonder. But yeah, those are your Plus Essential games for June, which you can download right now. They're on there. You can download them to your library, and they're yours to keep for as long as you remain a Plus member.
Indeed.
We've got a lovely video on them.
You don't even have to download them, but redeem them.
Yeah.
Redeem them. You've got a month to redeem them. Redeem those games, even if you don't intend on downloading them and playing them straight away. Get them redeemed.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Dad.
Top tip from the PlayStation Maestro over here.
PlayStation Dad.
Yeah.
PlayStation Dad.
Oh, excuse me. We've also got in our upcoming releases section, Layers of Fear on the 15th of June.
It's sunny. It's not the time.
We're in a dark studio.
You've got your time.
My time is all year.
It's a few months away yet.
I'm like the T-Rex in their pen going, please let me go out and talk about horror. I'm sorry, this is what came up in my research period, and it's out on the 15th of June, which is next Friday, I think. My maths is not good for dates, but this is the 10th. So that would be 11... 12, 13, 14.
It's next
Thursday.
week. There we go. There we go.
There, I think.
The 15th covers it. People aren't going what day is that?
Okay, well, it's out the 15th. And it's a reimagining of the Layers of Fear series. So it's basically incorporating kind of the Layers of Fear 1, 2, the DLCs like Inheritance, and kind of putting them all together and re-zhuzhing them.
That's great because I missed Layers of Fear 1, 2, and all the others.
Yeah.
So thank God.
And there's new stuff in this one too, Dave. So you can have the full experience.
Excellent.
I've always wanted to try Layers of Fear. So.
I really like Layers of Fear. It's really good. Anything that's kind of like walking sim horror game, I'm a big fan of. I just like walking around going, ooh, that's scary. That's a bit worrying. Next on my list of nastiness is the Dead by Daylight 7th anniversary, which we're coming a little bit late on because just from the timing of our podcast episode. There is a big June explainer on the 5th of June, which was last week or earlier this week for when this episode airs. But so far, we know there's the science fiction end transmission chapter starting with the Singularity, which is like a thing-styled, beastly, organic and inorganic like creature that's going to chase you. A new survivor called Gabriel Soma and a new map called Toba Landing. Also, Nicolas Cage as a playable survivor.
You're going to mention Nicolas Cage.
Is he playing? Is he Nicolas Cage? Or is? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's just Nicolas Cage. That's what we know so far is that Nicolas Cage is coming in as Nick Cage. He is horror movie like royalty. He does so many weird roles.
He's just royalty.
Yeah, he is. But I feel like he is beloved in the horror community as well.
Do you know that I visited his tomb?
What?
That's right.
He's not dead?
I know. It's a long story. I shouldn't have brought it up for right now. But yeah, I have. In New Orleans, he has a tomb where he will be laid to rest already.
Why did you visit his to-be tomb?
Because I was doing a walking tour of New Orleans, and they took one of the amazing things about New Orleans is they have to bury people in a very different way there because it is a swamp. So if you bury people just like the normal way, like we do here, they come back up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they have like this special process and it's like they're like very ornate and it's like an amazing what are the words? The cemeteries are like amazing and they only have like so much ground for people to be buried, so it's kind of like a very sought after thing to get buried in New Orleans, and you can only be buried in New Orleans if you have heritage there, if you are from there. And Nicolas Cage hired a team of people, I believe, to research his family history to find a link to New Orleans, and he bought a plot there and built a big tomb, and it's a big pyramid.
Oh wow, so it's like a mausoleum.
Yeah.
Oh.
What, so he's built a pyramid in a swamp?
Yes. I mean, that's a bit there. Yeah, I don't think of New Orleans as a swamp. It's built on swamp land.
Okay, right. Sorry, I thought it's
New Orleans is a city.
Like where they do the burying and stuff. I thought that like just any risk there, it would just sink. So I was like, has he just built a giant pyramid that's slowly going to sink?
It's the opposite.
People come up.
You bury them, and then because there's so much moisture in the ground, they rise back to the top. a little bit later on, which is not something you want unless you're Ash.
Well, I mean, I was trying to think, would a bog speed up decomposition or would it preserve a body in a strange way? Because
it's also extremely hot in New Orleans.
So that would speed it up.
So they Don't get me started on the New Orleans cremation or burial process. They build these special places where they put the bodies and the heat helps them to decompose quicker.
Oh.
And then they take them out of there and put them into their final resting place.
Why do they decompose them?
I can't remember the exact reason, but that I'll remember that for next podcast.
Okay, thank you. I am really interested in this.
It was really fascinating. Honestly, It was like the best. We did like this whole walking tour of New Orleans, and I loved that bit the most.
Yeah.
It was so great.
You're a little goth at heart, man. You're a little grebo loving horror gamer at heart.
There was nothing scary about a cemetery.
There's nothing scary about a cemetery full of zombies that could come back out of the ground any moment, where they decompose their bodies before putting them away.
They were specifically telling us how that wouldn't happen, how that had happened in the past, and they've come up with a way to make sure
safe.
you're definitely safe.
Oh, well, I guess you've got to have it happen to realise how to stop it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could have had the old bell technique, but then I guess if the whole body's coming out, you don't need the bell.
No, that's
They'll just be like, hey, off.
Oh, I'm back.
More on Dead by Daylight, though. This was kind of their 7th anniversary moments. This is stuff for year 8. Slipknot and Iron Maiden are getting costumes. So the Iron Maiden features outfits inspired by Eddie, and Slipknot has 9 killer masks that you can be worn by the band members.
Really scary. Those masks are horrible.
Yeah, it's so good though.
Yeah, it is really cool.
There's also the artist from the Fog collection, which, just to quote the writing, the copy, is a collaborative effort featuring outfits designed by 5 artists, including renowned creative director Ikumi Nakamura. They've got like an outfit for Ikumi Nakamura, which is really cool.
That is cool.
So, Dead by Daylight movie in development with Blumhouse and Atomic Monster, and there's 2 more Dead by Daylight games coming from outside the Dead by Daylight kind of behaviour team.
Right.
They're collaborating with Supermassive and Midwinter Entertainment for these 2 things. So Supermassive are making a branching narrative game outside of the Fog, which is all about Dead by Daylight lore, which sounds so good. So.
Well, thanks for joining us on the Dead by Daylight podcast.
No.
Yeah, like wow.
Sorry.
I'm really happy for Dead by Daylight, if any, because it's a brilliant game. It's a brilliant little.
We've had a lot of fun on the stream.
Yeah.
Do you know I've never played the killer?
Have you not?
I've never been the killer.
Okay, well, here's an excuse for us to go back. We can all play Nick Cage.
I don't think I could do it though. I don't think I could do
Dave
a good job.
versus Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I would love
Davey
that.
Cage.
Yeah.
Also on my list, this is the last thing for what's new, and I'm sorry that I'm doing so much talking here, but if you guys liked horror, it would be easier.
Oh, so it's our fault.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about is I got a hands-on with Blasphemous 2 recently.
Oh, yeah?
Which is not quite horror, but like grisly, Souls-like, dark fantasy inspired by Catholic religion, but very gruesome. Oh my God. I'm so excited. It's amazing.
Have you played the first game?
No.
I played the first game.
Oh, tell us more.
I haven't finished it, but no, I'm really excited for the second one as well. And I'd like to hear what you thought.
I honestly, it was like, as a little Hollow Knight freak, this is, so if anybody hasn't played Blasphemous listening, like me, it is a side-scrolling 2D platformer, like boss fighter, very Souls inspired, or uses sort of Souls mechanics of going back and picking up your guilt fragments and going through and having to really battle your way through and dying and dying and dying. It's very Hollow Knight, and if you like kind of that sort of spooky Metroidvania style, oh my God, you're going to love Blasphemous. It's so good. I was like gushing about it so much that I'm going to play the first one now, and I'm just so gassed to get into it. Blasphemous 2, it's just basically bigger, better Blasphemous 1. From what I've seen of the first game, bigger, better, more things. If you like the first one, Blasphemous 2 is absolutely going to tickle your fancy. So
amazing.
It's really good. It's really, really fun. There was loads of cool bosses. The first one is kind of like the learning how to do it boss, and even that was like, oh my God, please give me some strength. I need help. But I had a great time with that. So I just wanted a moment to say, it's good and it's very bloody, so everybody should look forward to it.
Will do.
Yeah. Have you guys got anything new in your lives you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
Don't we have a whole segment for that at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make Rosie talk about a bin again.
No,
Come on.
Well, I didn't mean like a bit. I just meant maybe there's something new. You guys, maybe you've played a game. I don't know. I just wanted to open it up because I'd done a lot of talking. No? Okay. Moving on. We're going to go to our main feature section right now whilst I recover from that embarrassment. Okay, everybody, we are here to talk about some game announcements, to just revel in the memories of PlayStation highs gone by.
Woo!
And I should say, this episode is releasing in the midst of Summer Game Fest. It's coming after a load of announcements, so I'm kind of trying to focus on things happening outside of that because we've got loads of coverage on our channel about all the good things coming there. So please check that out, and we're going to reminisce for a moment and have just a nice little friendly team moment.
Friendly
Shall we all
team.
hug?
There's a mic. Oh, the mics are.
Yeah, like
It's just a thumbs up for everyone. That's like, yeah.
So I kind of just wanted to kick you guys off with a little bit of talking with the question: what makes for a brilliant reveal? What is it that makes a reveal, oh my God, worthy?
Something where you don't know what it is until like the end, or something that ramps up anticipation and then drops a big reveal. Like, I love a knowing trailer. I love a trailer that knows that people are going to really care about what it's about. Like the God of War 2018 trailer, I think is a perfect example. It starts with Atreus playing with a little toy. No one's seen Atreus. No one knows who Atreus is at this point. And you hear a voice in the gloom, and no one knows it's Kratos at this stage. And then when he walks out, you know, I love that they made that trailer knowing that when Kratos walks out, this is going to absolutely bang and everyone's going to cheer. So trailers that are designed for that sort of explosion of recognition, and that you know, are designed to get people hyped up because they know loads of people are going to be all tuned in at the same time. I love that feeling of, is it? Oh my God, it is! I absolutely love it. I think it's great.
Nice.
That only works for things that are returning.
Yes.
But absolutely
lots
true.
of things return.
And I love watching that bit.
Yeah,
as
like
well.
bodies in New Orleans.
With Corey Barlog. You know, I love, you know, the sort of behind the scenes. You guys must have seen it, like of him on stage playing the game. And I am just imagining what he must be thinking. Everybody in that room live watching that exact moment and thinking, I really hope people get excited when they see Kratos. You know, what he must have worried a little bit. Like, what if it's just like, oh yeah,
oh, he's back.
Oh yeah, or who's that? You know, like he must have worried, and then to have like, he must have been like, thank God of war. Now we can, you know, like it must have been amazing.
See what you did there. That was very good, Dave.
Thank you. But yeah, it's a really. I don't know that there can be a formula for it. I think it's so difficult to know, and like, you know, people spend a long time planning these reveals, like a long time, and obviously I've never been involved in the process. I would love to see it. I bet it is unbelievable. I bet there is so much more to it than we can ever imagine, and it must be very stressful, and I don't think I could handle the anticipation of showing my game trailer for the first time. Honestly, can you imagine?
Yeah,
just like all day checking your watch, like,
I know no one knows about our game yet. People are going to know about it in 1 hour's time.
Yeah. Like what I've been working on for years and years.
Yeah, just all my life, really.
Just all,
all laid out. So, oh my God, this is a really off-the-cuff question, so don't be like, if you can't think of an answer. But if there was to be like a PlayStation Access game, and we were gonna like announce it, how would you seed that to be like a big popper reveal? Like, would you just go straight in with all of us and be like, here we are? Or do you think you'd have like something happen and then Delsin walks in like Kratos going,
I think if you really want people to scream, at the very end of the trailer you'd have Rob saying, hello, you've caught me, announcing the PlayStation Access video game. I think that would make like Rosie. People go
what, so just have it like really mysterious and then, hello, you've caught me.
Like maybe some like hints around and about,
like maybe like close-ups of bits of the set from over the years and things, and like, you know, people are like, I kind of vaguely recognise that, and then you see a little bit of Delsin maybe. And
maybe like Delsin like scurries around the office, like you just see him quickly going like
CGI Delsin.
There's a pile of Rob's clothes in the corner because obviously he's
taken them off.
This is funny.
Hello.
This is funny because
you've caught me semi-naked on the sofa.
Even when you're
announcing Friday feature the game. We actually did a mock. It was a joke that never actually made it into a video in the end, but we made a mock-up.
Of the
game box of Friday feature the game. It's next door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I've
really
seen
good,
that.
actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's
It's
you
funny.
in your most pose. Like a little bug. I was going to say, it's funny that you talk about the piles of clothes, because even when you're dressed, there's piles of clothes around of just like where costumes have like dropped off you, and then like when I was organising all of the things the other day, all of the different costumes we've got onto the rail, there was just kind of like these piles where like characters had been and just like disintegrated. I found an old woman in a bag. It was very scary, but getting back,
Grandma S. Pearson.
Getting back to the reveals and announcements, how does it feel to be there for like the live game stuff? Because I know you guys have been privileged enough to be to E3 a few times. Rosie, our time
will come.
It'll come. We'll get there.
Well, I used to watch them on a laptop, so there you go. That's my little my little thing.
You say that it's obviously amazing. Like Dave and I were both in the room. We're very lucky to be in the room when that God of War 2018 reveal happened, and they had the live orchestra playing beforehand, playing God of War music. And at the time, we didn't know it was God of War music. We just walked in and was like, oh, this is very nice, isn't it? It's like an orchestra pit, great acoustics in the theatre where it was. Having said that, my all-time favourite reveal ever was from a time way before I even worked in the industry. So it is amazing being there, but I don't think not being there diminishes the hype and the excitement that you can feel. It's just, it's like watching a live sporting event, I guess. Like there's a certain perspective you get when you're there live that you just don't appreciate if you're streaming it or watching it on stream.
The best thing about being there is that there are other people there who also want to be there. And it's like we got together for the PlayStation showcase recently, and it's like it's different me watching it by myself than it is me watching it with you guys, because we're all like invested. We all want it to be great. We are all excited to see what comes up. And it's just like that, but times 1,000 or whatever. There's just like a bunch more people who are all also feel that way, and so I can't help but get swept up, even if I don't know what the thing is or it doesn't mean much to me. Like I was sat next to Rob when Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced, and Final Fantasy VII is not a game that has meant anything to me. I'd never played it before. But I couldn't help but be excited too. I was just like, I was excited for Rob, and I was excited for everyone else in the room.
I love that when someone else's excitement gets you just as excited. Like at the time, I like Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know anything about Cyberpunk, but I've got a friend who loves like that universe, and seeing their excitement, I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you, and oh my god, now I really want to play this now too.
Yeah, definitely. And but it also works on the small scale too, like you say, Rosie. I mean, like I've been sat next to you when like a Dragon Ishin was announced.
Yeah, do you remember that was great
and
fun.
That was like big. That was big. And we were all excited
big noise
for you, I think.
came out of Rosie.
Yeah, big noise for so many reasons. Like, so many reasons.
I had a big lunch.
No, we were blessed that got anyways.
The PlayStation showcases were, have always been like they became more and more kind of experiential, like Rob said, like the amazing live orchestra and live performers and stuff would accompany gameplay. But the best thing for sure was, because we've also been to some earlier ones where you took all of that away and it was just people in a room seeing the same stuff that everyone at home was seeing, and the best thing was just all the people in the room loving it. It's like really, really electric and exciting.
Yeah, it's like a little gamer zoo.
It is.
I love it.
Gamer zoo.
My next question was going to be about the shift to digital previews and if it like offers the same hype, but I feel like you guys have kind of answered it in that it doesn't really matter, where it is or what it is. It's the people you're with that make it, which is very wholesome.
You can do, I imagine this already happens, but like watch parties of these things.
Oh yeah, I'm just like,
we all watch the showcase together, and it's just like a fun social event.
Yeah, and only a relatively small number of people get to go to the live event anyway. So like obviously the digital showcases just mean as many people as possible having the same experience, which is really nice, I think.
Yeah, I really like when we make an event of it. So for PlayStation Showcase, our version of that is like we usually all get like a takeaway, or we'll go out to eat. So we'll finish work, go out together, have like a bit of pizza, or this time it was a pie.
The pizza and a pie.
Yeah, and it's all types of pies.
Yeah.
Some people call pizza or pie?
Well, some people would tell you it is a pie.
Oh
exactly.
my God. So, okay, well, there was pie of some form most times. And
That's important.
and then we come back, we hang out, we play some games. Me and Rosie were playing Cuphead for a little bit to blast through the levels. And then we all go upstairs a little bit early, get those little bowls of like chocolate and bits out. And we did a reaction cam this time so you could see like the four of us reacting to things. But we're all sat there with our snacks, with our drinks, and just like hyping everything. And it's just really nice and wholesome because I don't know. I feel like I never really did that growing up, and then being able to do that while I'm part of the industry and like knowing what we get to cover and work on as well. Obviously, that's a very like personal experience, but I think I feel like not that I missed out, but just I didn't know that like there was all of this joy in just having a little watch party and all screeching at the announcement.
And you got to guess as well. That's the rule. You got to guess, and like obviously there's points that no one. Like acknowledges points for being the first to guess the thing early. You know, like people say very knowledgeably.
First
like,
one to guess Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yes. Yeah. I did think it in my head. Which
it doesn't count.
I was actually thinking it's that game by Capcom from the past. Rob played it, and there's a little, and I couldn't think of the name.
No, I did though.
Yeah.
I thought of the name.
But it is. You got to guess, and it's the same. It's the same at the live events as well. Yeah. People saying, you know, either we're just whispering to each other, like, or, you know, someone's like shouting it out somewhere, you know, like there's that lone voice in the darkness just going like, Kratos! But yeah.
Have any of you guys been the one guy just to go,
no, not the one guy.
No. I'm not a whooper.
You're a whopper.
You said that before.
No, I'm not a whooper.
I'm not saying you are a whooper. I'm just saying you say it a lot. You're very adamant about it.
No, you're never going to whoop at me.
No, I wouldn't dare whoop.
No, you go, oh, that's your one.
Yeah, you're an intake.
Yeah.
Not an out.
Yeah, Rosie is an out.
I'm an out, yeah.
Innie, you're an outie. That's what you are.
Yeah.
I'm a whooper. I drop a woo. Like.
I'm like just a belch. I'm just I've just gone, like, you know, it just sort of comes out. It's not like a scream or anything.
It's a klaxon.
It's just I'm like a tuba
You're
of
like
noise.
Awooga.
Yeah, I'm an awooga. Yeah, that's literally me. I'm an awooga.
Oh my God, Dave, what are you? I feel like you're a puzzler. You're like, what?
I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm like a hold breather.
Yeah.
Hold breather. I do a lot of holding my breath by accident. I think I'm just like.
By accident.
Just not breathing.
Yeah.
No sound.
So we got the intake, the outtake, the breathe, and the noise. And there we go. So I want to talk about kind of the standout announcements, your favourites, the moments that really stuck with you as like the big reveals that got you absolutely, you know, brown and trow.
Well, there've been none of those. I'd like the record to show that's never happened to me.
Well, what would you point out?
I did genuinely have a reaction where I was sweating and screaming and like just like everything out of excitement.
I'm sure you weren't ill.
No, I was absolutely fine, but I was so excited. I genuinely forgot everything about where I was, and I just screamed and I was shaking and sweating.
Can we try and guess what this game was?
Yes.
I know what it is.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I think I know what it was too.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Well, go on,
Rob didn't join in our thread where we were coming up with these ideas earlier.
Oh, no. I was hoping other people would start guessing.
No. Guys, all on you, Rob, all on you.
You get one shot.
Okay, one shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, Rosie, because you derailed it.
So make it count. Come on. Audio.
Audio format.
Thank you.
Oh, he was so...
Yakuza.
He was so convinced. I bet we could easily guess.
6.
I'm afraid not.
Shaking, sweating, crying. Come on.
Crash, Insane Trilogy.
That's second. That's the second biggest reaction I've ever had to any
Parappa the Rapper coming to PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it was the Parappa the Rapper remaster made me scream, sweat, and shake out of excitement.
Where were you?
And that's why I remember it, because it was like the 3 S's. I was just, oh my God, I'm like, the 3 S's have been consumed.
Triple S rank.
The triple S rank.
Sweat, shake.
Yeah.
Where were you? Because, you know, you were like in Sainsbury's.
I was living with my parents, and
you
like
were?
that. I was living with my parents, and the spare room, it was like a shared office space, and my stepdad worked in that corner, and I had my little laptop set up. like on this side of the room. And I think my parents were like in bed at this point as well.
Well, I was going to say, were you watching live? Like, where was it announced? What was the...
It was... I can't remember the exact timing, but it was definitely kind of in the evening.
Okay.
Because I remember some for PlayStations, PlayStation was one of the last E3s to be, and then when you convert the time, it was quite late in the UK.
Yeah.
But I think with this one, I just remember watching it in an evening, and I just remember just the flashes popping up, and you saw like Parappa and Mussolini in the taxi and things, or the learner car, sorry, not the taxi, the learner's car, and I was just fully could not believe that Parappa is back. Out of everything in the world, the franchise that I love, Parappa the Rapper, I just could not believe it. My friends at school who do not care about video games at all, I was screaming at them. I was saying, you guys don't understand.
The next day,
still screaming, shaking. I was like grabbing them.
That meme where it's just like hand over the shoulder.
Fully, and they were happy for me, of course, but like I was fully like,
I'm so happy for you right now.
Please let me go.
Whatever these words mean.
Yeah. That one, and then the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, because again, I will never forget hearing the music, and then the shadow of like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Sean Layden walked out on stage.
Yeah,
with a Crash Bandicoot shadow,
which was fantastic.
That was one of the most amazing pieces of staging I have seen.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
That was great.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was very cool.
The whole thing was just fantastic, and I remember then literally watching that again and again, and even when I was like taking a shower before I went to work, or I can't remember if it was work or school at the time, but I took a shower and I just would have the audio of the Crash Bandicoot announcement playing, just like so I could just listen to it again.
Or whilst you were in the shower.
Yeah, like so I was just in the shower.
Instead
of music, I just put that announcement on so I can listen to like the music.
It can't be real. I just love you like watching it. It can't be real.
I'm still shaking. I'm sweating.
Screaming.
Shake, sweat, scream, shower.
4 S's.
4 S's for Crash Bandicoot.
Where did you used to play? Did you have like a waterproof like speaker in your shower?
No, so the bathroom at my parents' place was like, you had the bath and the shower in one unit, and that was there, and then the sink was just there, so I just kind of put it away. So I played it loudly so I could hear it, and the rest of my family could hear it as well.
You just
I didn't
put
care.
Your phone
what device?
In a different
on my
part
phone.
Of the
You're
room.
just your phone.
Yeah, just my phone. I just put it on the sink, like on the other side of the bathroom, so it didn't get wet.
Why are you so invested in it?
I'm intrigued to know the whole. I'm gonna have a shower now. Right, let me just set up the.
People put music on in the shower.
I put music on in the shower.
Even today I put music. Yeah, every day.
Every
day I do this.
If you want to know now, my music when I play it now, I get in the shower again.
Music in the shower?
Yeah, in my current flat.
Why?
Bath with the shower, put my phone on top of the toilet.
Sing along, have a nice get ready for the day.
I have phone calls in the shower sometimes.
Why do you ever listen to music? It's just like listen to music anyway.
I put Rosie streaming on in the shower once.
Yeah, the phone call in the shower is weird. You put Rosie streaming on in the shower. Oh, okay.
I remember you saying you were like, "I'm in the shower." And I was just like, "Hello, Ash in the shower."
Young people have gone weird.
What have you people? You just can't take the void coming ever, can you?
Well, can you, Rob?
Yeah, in the shower, it's me
and the void.
Hot water
I don't want to hear
and the
about
void.
you in the shower. Oh,
For
God.
me, it's also
like a small pile of clothes outside the shower.
It's also like a time keep as well. Like a song usually
Good
lasts for
point.
around 3 minutes, so
if you
I know.
find yourself having 10-minute showers, go, God.
Well,
what was I doing?
What was I doing?
Stood there. It's like
in the void. Whereas music, I'm like, oh, okay, that's 2 songs I've listened to now. I should probably start wrapping up and getting out.
In a towel.
In a towel. And even when I put the towel on, the music carries on playing. So,
Yeah.
Rosie, how long was the Crash Bandicoot announcement that you listened to in the shower? Like, how many times did that repeat?
Worth? Yeah.
Oh, just... I can't remember exactly when it was, but I remember there was a phase where I stopped, but then I remember when the trailers started coming out, and then more music started playing. And then...
This is like a Would I Lie to You story. So what device did you play the music on?
I remember at one point I had a shower, and my mum, she was a hairdresser, she had a customer over, and literally I was like in the shower showering, and they came upstairs, and they just heard this Crash Bandicoot music playing, and my mum was fully just like, Rosie, what were you listening to in there? My customer was very confused. I was like, Mum, it's Crash. You know, the spin mat, spinning and jump man. And she was, oh, yes, I remember him.
Spinning and jump man.
Mom, of course, it's Crash Bandicoot.
She knows Crash Bandicoot. Like I've said, she knows PS1 characters, she just doesn't remember their names. So if you're like, oh yeah, the spinning and jumping guy, she's just like, oh yes, I remember him. Like how Abe's the Yuri guy. For when he did the charts.
I just love thinking about your mom growing up with you and your brother both being like proper game intense people, and I've been like just trying to get along, being like, oh yes, the spinning man, oh yo, yes.
I'm very worried about our children.
She asked about Nightmare Creatures randomly the other week, and I was just like, why are you talking about Nightmare Creatures? She was like, oh, we're just talking about things that are scary on the telly. And I remembered that game you played, your brother used to show you when you were kids. I was like, oh, that was a very scary game. I don't think you should have been playing that. I was like, Mum, it is fine, because we called the character Scarecrow in the pants, so... Anyway,
okay. Ash.
So we've moved on from E3 reveals to reveals about Rosie's life. So I basically just want to ask you about we got to Rosie's favourite. I haven't actually heard your guys' favourites, and what made them stand out to you. So tell me yours, and then basically what makes them so special. Like what made Parappa so special as well.
Well, I feel like you guys should go first. I've just gone on a massive rant about Parappa and Crash Bandicoot.
Rob, what was your favourite reveal? I mean, I could guess, but from a million years ago, what was it? Tell it, just say it.
It was, in my opinion, the single greatest reveal at any show ever, and that was E3 2000 Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
So good. It was in that era where there were, YouTube didn't exist. There weren't any online publications, certainly not to the extent that there are today. And so the only way we used to hear about E3 in those days was in the gaming magazines, weeks after it had actually happened.
Yeah.
And I remember buying the very first issue of PSM2 magazine, which was my favorite magazine. And it had a VHS cover mount of the E3 Metal Gear Solid 2 trailer, and a huge 12-page feature with a blow-by-blow of what it was like to be there, watching it be revealed at the time.
Can I just interject and ask what a VHS cover mount is?
For God's sake.
Oh, come on.
Don't be ridiculous.
Do you mean like a tape?
Yeah.
A video cassette tape stuck to the front cover
they
of the
literally
magazine.
gave out tapes.
Yeah.
I honestly, I thought you meant it must be a picture. I didn't even think that they'd give away tapes.
They did after that, it was like a DVD cover mount.
Yeah.
The old official PlayStation magazine used to have a playable demo cover mount. But this was
remember that, but
this
a VHS.
This was a VHS, and I read the 12-page and I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm so jealous of those people who got to be there, but just reading it and experiencing it vicariously. One of my favorite sort of Games Magazine articles ever. And then I watched the actual trailer on this VHS, and I must have watched this, no exaggeration to say, probably about 200 times. I would watch it every day. I'd come home from school and I would watch it a couple of times.
Get in the shower.
Never watch it whilst I was showering. But it was the most mind-blowingly incredible thing. Visually so far above anything that video games had done before. It looks good now when you watch it. And I always think Hideo Kojima in particular is very, very good at making eccentric, but also trailers that make you more hyped than anything. And his trailers go on a bit as well, but I love it because you think they're finished, and there's always another little bit that they show. But this just showed so much incredible gameplay, so, an amazing evolution of from the first game into this sequel, and all of the new things that Snake could do, and oh my God, the music and everything about it was unbelievable. And I used to just watch it all the time. My dad came in at one point when the release date was splashed up on the screen, and it said Metal Gear Solid 2 coming 2001. And my dad was like, you're going to be 15 then. Mm-hmm. You're going to have grown out of video games by then. Why are you excited about this? And I just laughed.
You're still laughing now.
Yeah, I just so obviously I wasn't there. I was only 13, 14 at that E3. But still, for me, that, I knew about E3. I knew it was this thing, this mystical thing that I wished so badly I was at. And that for me was just I've never been so. It was an actual physical yearning I felt to be at this place and to play this game. I don't think it'll ever be topped for me that sense of excitement.
I remember I'm a year older than you, and I think it was about I don't know, maybe the year before that E3 that my parents got Sky, and there was some sort of gaming channel, and there wasn't a lot of kind of content. You would see, you know, their daily schedule would just repeat like every 2 hours or something, and for a period of weeks, part of the schedule was just showing that gameplay demo. It would be shown like I said every other hour, and I had no real kind of history with Metal Gear, so I didn't, you know, I wasn't invested in the game as like, oh, it's the sequel to that game I love, but I just thought it looked insane, and like it was just doing things that games had never done. I just watching Snake shoot the glasses on the bar.
Oh, it's so good.
I just used to wait for that bit every time.
The music on
like,
that bit, the first bit of it, like the first 5 minutes or so, was lots of him sneaking around.
Yeah.
And then he gets seen, and then it's like a whole montage of action.
Yeah.
I can hear the music now.
Yeah.
I can hear the exact bit of music as he dives behind that glass screen, and it sort of shatters and all crumbles down.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, that's not the music.
I would pay some very good money to go back in time and see you buy that magazine, and I just imagine you can't even open it. I can't see it now. Just trying to read the words, but your eyes are going too fast. Looking at it, I'm not reading it.
I used my drinks money. I used to get like £1 every other day, so that I could buy a drink on the way home from school.
Right.
And I knew this, so I think for 2 weeks
I didn't
buy a drink. So I saved up £5 so I could buy this magazine.
Do you know who wrote the article?
I don't, but
Nathan.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Dan Dawkins was there, who was like my absolute games journalist hero.
Yeah, and you would go on to work alongside Dan.
Yeah.
Some years later.
Yeah.
How nice.
I think my all-time proudest moment was when my name was listed, the very last issue of PSM2, it was MPSM3, before it closed, which still makes me sad. It was like PSM3 has been brought to you by, and it just listed all of the contributors from like over a decade, and my name was in there. I remember thinking,
you made it in.
Well done.
I'll always remember that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Another reveal of life happening.
Yeah.
Reveal your life now.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I'm sorry, because if you've seen our video that we put on the channel a couple of weeks ago, that is the moment I'm going to talk about, because it was amazing and I was very lucky to be there. It was the kind of convoy chase demo of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End that they showed at E3 in 2015, and it really just really got me. I was such a weird mix of so excited about playing this game, and also so sad that it seemed like the series was coming to an end, you know. And I was like a real mix of, I have this problem actually, like I have a problem of, if it's something I know I love, like a series or well, mostly a series actually, or like a game maybe, and I go back and play through it, I really struggle to get to the end because I don't want it to end. I often don't watch the last episode of something. And you know, I told you recently I'm on the last mission of Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
I still haven't played it. It's my favourite game of the past 9 months. I haven't played the last mission, which is silly because it doesn't go anywhere. I can play it more. But and I felt that with Uncharted 4, like I was feeling that nostalgia already about what might happen to those characters. You know, it's called A Thief's End. There was lots of speculation about that. You know, Rosie, as you said in the video, like Sully, there was...
Yeah, I remember, I'll never forget seeing Sully for the first time, and I was just like, oh my God, I love this man. This is going to be the one, isn't it?
You have to wonder, like...
You got to wonder.
Is Sully going to make it through this game? He better, and...
You better make it.
It was so good, and the demo, obviously, was just absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't take it in, I think. I've obviously watched it several times since, played the game several times, and I think there are still things that I see that I hadn't seen the first time. It's the unbelievable amounts of detail, and the promise of it was just... It was so perfect, and it did help that the rest of that showcase had also been so good. One of the other reveals I also wanted to mention here was Horizon Zero Dawn, which was so exciting because it was so different to Killzone, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like Aloy taking pieces off of that Thunderjaw and then picking them up and using it against it.
That was one of those rare instances, I thought, where what you see at E3 it's like an artist impression the game that actually arrives, it genuinely delivers on the promise that was in the E3 trailer and then some. Like I remember thinking, like, I've never seen video game combat like this before.
No.
Like how you're actually going to be strategically pinning these monsters down with ropes, shooting bits off them.
But it looked
how is a game going to do that?
It looked like a boss battle, you know, but in a boss battle, I'd never seen anything like that before, where you could kind of choose. You could see that Aloy was choosing how to attack. It wasn't like hit the weak point. You know, it was like evolving gameplay. It was like happening right then. They were choosing like these different weapons and different ways of like tying it down, taking bits off it. You know, using the disc launcher. I think back at it, and that was especially exciting because it was from a studio that we all knew and loved, but associated with this one very particular game. And here it was so colourful and beautiful, and like robots that look like a little bit like animals, and they're very futuristic, but then Aloy doesn't look like a contemporary, doesn't look like she's from the same world even. It's like, what is going on? It was really great. And that was in the same show. That was earlier in the show before Uncharted 4. I mean,
and Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Right, and Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
And Firewatch.
Dreams.
Dreams. It was like, I want to go back and like talk to myself and be like, just see it again. Because the graph of excitement on in that showcase must have just been through the roof. But yeah, I think though that year for me was amazing, and especially it did all culminate in Uncharted 4. It was great.
Oh, these are lovely little recounting guys. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's what it's all about, being excited, getting these lovely memories and jumping into games that like really special to you. I'm gonna have to finish this up there because we're gonna run too long otherwise. So
quick shout out to Resident Evil 2. That was a great one as well.
Thank you, Rosie. Quick shout out to Resident Evil 2.
Nothing to do with the showcase or, it's just like...
that's a good game, isn't it?
Remember the rat running across rat? Love that. Yeah. Love that little rat.
Oh, you guys were talking about the rat earlier, weren't you, to be fair?
Yeah.
Love that rat. Love that rat. But what I also love is comments of the week, which we're going to move to right now. Okay, guys, it's time to sing.
I took my big intake of breath. You screwed me over. Okay, here we go. It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time
for comments of the week.
Nice.
It's just getting quite good now, isn't it?
We should start a band.
We could. What if we did more songs?
Oh my God. No. That's thinking too far.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
We can add bot drop to the repertoire.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Bot drop?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
I like Rob saying it.
Did you say bot drop?
Are you dropping your bottom right now?
Yeah, Ash and I
Is that a new genre of music that you've created?
It's an actual song that Ash created. We
song
played
called
Beat
Bot Drop.
Saber recently, and Ash added, actually quite a lot of lyrics to quite a lot of the songs, but the most effective bit
Just
was
helping with the copyright.
Bot drop, which was really, and you have to drop bot during that bit of Beat Saber, so it really worked, and it's very singable.
Yeah, Dave was doing the little dance because he had to he was doing the Beat Saber and I was doing the beating.
Yeah,
and it was a great combo. So, Bot Drop
highly recommend.
is coming to an Access earhole near you. RD Clark 1994 says, Pod Squad, with summer around the corner, what is your ideal holiday location? Do you enjoy a classic hot holiday abroad by a beach, or are you more drawn to more city break / colder climate locations?
Well, thank you for asking, RD Clark. Robert, you're actually on holiday soon.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm going on holiday.
What kind of a holiday is it?
A very nice one, I hope. I'm going to Croatia. And it's a mixture of being by the sea, which my wife really likes, and being in the mountains, which I really like.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Are you going to go and see that beautiful fairy tale lake, the Blue Lake?
No, I think we're quite far away from that. But I'm going to see some beautiful mountains, and I'm going to swim in the beautiful sea. And so I like a mixture. I like a mixture of, I can chill out by the pool for a day, but I find it hard to do that for the whole holiday. I like to go on some nice walks and see some things and experience the place I'm in.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big, probably city break person. I like being in a city break where I could go to the beach for a day, but like, it's not necessary. I like doing probably touristy things, you know. I like going and looking around a city and having some nice food and doing activities, excursions. I just love them. Whether that is like climbing like a mountain or going, I like places that have kind of culture and things you can learn as well. So like going to a ruin or a castle or something like that. Like I love those sort of holidays.
Yeah. I'm the same. I can't sit around a pool for very long or on a beach for very long. I don't like the sun. I like it to be sunny. I like to be in the shade. And I love swimming. I do love the water, like snorkeling, that kind of stuff. Like an activity in the sea is fantastic. But I can't, like, I don't know what you do in the pool apart from swim. I swim in the pool. I love that. But I get very bored of that very quickly. I like activities too, things to do.
I like things to do. Things. I mean, I like a whole mixture, really. I like, you know, having a day where maybe you chill by the pool and just sort of relax, detox for a bit, and then after that, it's like, oh, I want to see things. I want to go out and see the sights, see like the little random things that are in shops and stuff like that. See this location. So I think for me it's like a whole mixture. But
yeah, for sure, I like seeing creatures from the island as well. I don't know why I've chosen island.
You're on an island.
It's an island
from the island.
Creatures on this island.
Well, just I'm thinking about like Greece, where you can go and do like ruins and stuff and see and like mythology, but also see a very small lizard and loads of cats.
There's always like little lizards crawling out of brick walls.
It's always funny, like
scurrying back in.
What is our version of lizard? You know, because when you go to Greece and you see like a little gecko, you're like, oh, little gecko, and they must be like, see one every day. Like, do you think anyone gets excited by seeing our pigeon?
I was going to say that.
Maybe seagulls. I think they're not exciting. There are messages all around Bath saying do not feed the seagulls, which tells me that tourists do feed the seagulls. So maybe
sometimes unintentionally.
I do it sometimes on purpose.
No.
Yeah, not in Bath. Like,
I've seen the signs.
But like in like it's where the signs aren't, like a bit further out from Bath. If there's one around, I've got like a sandwich.
I love that, like you get like a sandwich for a seagull, and you look around, you see a sign, you go, okay, fair, and then you just keep walking until I can't see. It doesn't say not to feed the seagull. Meanwhile, a procession of like a flock of seagulls have just followed you.
Oh, I like feeding pigeons more than seagulls because seagulls get aggressive.
Pigeons are great.
Yeah.
I hate when I see someone chase a pigeon.
Oh yeah.
I hate that.
Why'd you do it?
I hate it.
Oh, I hate it as well.
Little birds.
pigeons.
Just feeding creatures is nice, isn't it? I went to a park the other day. Oh, now I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Walmley says, #PodSquad.
Pod Squad.
Salutations, erstwhile members of the PlayStation Access team. I've been watching your channel for years and love all the entertainment you provide, especially Ash's chaotic imp energy. I've been wondering recently, what does an average day in the PS Access office look like? You can't be making fun, entertaining videos all day, can you? Cheers, and long live Queen Ash's dark and terrible reign.
Well, we can try. We do try to make fun, entertaining videos all day.
Yeah.
But there's also, we have to have meetings.
Yeah.
Sometimes we play some games.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do some more meetings.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we meet a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes we do some filming.
Sometimes we all bring snacks in and eat them at the table.
There's lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch happens in the day.
More meetings. Emails. Oh, there's emails. Did we mention
scripting as well.
Scripting.
Yeah. There's a big difference between Rob and Dave's and mine and Rosie's. Because
we don't have as many meetings.
Yeah, you guys are like big bosses, so...
Like, just big and bosses.
Big bosses?
Just like
the head
big
honchos?
bosses.
You're like the chiefs, the ultimate masters you are. you guys are like the ultimate masters, so you have like...
Ultimate master.
So you have like your,
Bob's face is just like... What?
Whereas Ash and I, like literally, we're just there and like you're scripted away and I'm editing some form of a video. So it's like for us, it's literally like we get into work, we have our morning meeting, then we get back and then I boot up my editing software and off we go.
Essentially.
I scroll comments like this endlessly.
Rosie and Ash make things. Dave and I tell people to make things.
Yeah.
And sometimes make things as well.
I just spend a lot of time thinking about emails. Like, it takes me craft. I like to think that my emails are beautifully crafted.
You do take a long... I'm the opposite. I'm just like... send.
Yeah.
I want to be that person, and there's nothing worse than beautifully crafting an email and then getting a response that's just like, cool.
I love it when you break the relationship, like in an email where you don't know whether you can use like a little smiley face or something, and then they give you a smiley face. I'm like, okay, now I can use smiley face.
Oh, or another classic is like if I got an email from Rosemary. Or Rosemary. I never know if you're Rosemary or Rosemary.
Rosemary?
I'm Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
And
Don't worry,
I
Rosie, I got
replied,
you.
if you were
Thank
like,
you, Ashley.
if you were like, thanks so much, Rosemary. And then I replied, hi, Rosie, blah, blah, blah. And then you replied, thanks so much, Rosemary. Again, you're like, hi, Rosemary. I'm sorry. Like if I get a
I'd
David.
never do that. I would never ever do that. People can
But
call
you could, and it's fine. People are, people... Like
Never go for a nickname unless...
No,
don't presume. Don't presume
What
to
are you
use nicknames.
doing?
No, I don't do that. I don't do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I don't. I'm so careful with my craft, but I've just, it's happened to me though.
Yeah.
It happened to me where where I had a job ages ago, and I was like on a little local magazine in Bristol, and I was like the gadgets editor, which I wasn't because I wasn't even paid to do it. But I did get sent some free gadgets to like review sometimes, and there was a PR lady who reached out to me once, and somehow, I don't know how, she thought my name was Tom, even though I signed my emails Dave, and then she started phoning me.
Yeah.
She would phone up the office and ask for Tom.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, so they would put her through to me.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, hello, and she'd be like, hi Tom, great, blah blah. You have the conversation, and then
Why not correct?
because I was like, oh, this is a bit awkward. And we talked about this in the office, and I was like, how am I gonna correct it, because it's too long now, like. After I hadn't done it the first time, as soon as she'd said, I'd just gone, oh, sorry, it's actually Dave, and it would have been fine. Then it became more difficult to do it, because once, it's like, oh, by the way, you've had something in your teeth for the past hour. It's like, why would you tell me that? It's the same thing. So we decided that I would phone her, and she would answer the phone and go, hello, whoever, I'm whoever. And I'd go, hi, it's Dave from Area Magazine.
Yeah.
So I hate using the phone anyway, so... This was all agreed, and everyone in the office went quiet and was excited for me. And so I phoned her up, and she went, "Hi, Tom." And that was
busted.
Did you not do that? Oh, sorry, it's Dave.
So you can't do that. You don't do that. Even if I have a call and I can see who's calling me, I always go with the hello.
Yeah.
I never presume. Don't presume that the person on the other end is the person the phone says it is.
Definitely not.
God,
That's funny though.
that is good.
That is funny.
Tom.
Oh goodness. We've got another comment from Benny Boo who says hashtag Pod Squad. Hashtag VOD Squad. So after the race for the crown, I had to give Fall Guys a try, and sure enough, crown first go.
Oh, come on.
How's that for a chicken burger, Rob?
The chicken burger?
I don't know.
A chicken burger?
When did we talk? Did we talk about chicken burgers? I'm
I
trying to
don't know.
remember.
Oh yeah, we did, because we were like, is a chicken burger, if it's like a chicken breast
That's
in a
it.
bun,
Yeah,
is that a chicken
I
burger?
don't
or
know
does
what
it
that's
need
got to
be-
do with winning a crown, though. Your comment doesn't make any sense, man. He's there laughing away. You're the one that looks like a fool.
Well, how's that for a chicken burger, Benny Boo?
Well done on your crown, Benny.
Yeah,
Well done.
congratulations.
I can only assume everybody else bailed on the game, and that's how you won it.
Spicy.
A bit salty over here.
Right, so I'm going to finish this up there. We're going off the rails here. Benny Boo has sent us into a tailspin. So the last section we have got is Before We Go. So before we go, everybody, what have you been up to?
Well, you've been to a park.
I did. I went to a park.
You said you were going to tell us about the park.
Yes, because on the other weekend I had a glorious day where I went to a pottery painting session.
Oh yeah.
So they give you something to paint, or you can pick something you want to paint, and then you can just sit there for 2 hours and you get a drink and you paint some stuff, and then you send it off to the kiln. But I spent too long doing my design because I was thinking about it for ages that I haven't finished it yet. So we've got to go back and paint some more pottery. But I went with Sam and he decided he wanted to paint a pixel art version of me and him fighting a monster, and I was like, yeah, okay, sure, this is going to be difficult, and I was like, I encourage you but thinking, goodness gracious, how is that going to work? And he's actually smashed it.
Wow.
It actually doesn't
the pot?
No. Oh.
I was going to say. Terrible.
No,
Yeah.
he's done a really good job. It does look like two little pixel art dudes going up against some beast. But he's got more work to do as well. And I decided to paint a pot with the outside is a monster and the inside is a load of guts. But I only have done the top so far.
That's a good idea. Will there be photographic evidence of these?
When they're fired.
Delights?
When they're fired, there will be. But I went and did that. And then we went and got a big pitta, and we went to the park and ate a pitta, and all the pigeons came to say hello, and there was a little squirrel, and we were just throwing bread at them in a nice way.
Wow. But got him. Yeah.
It was so nice. It was such a nice day, and all the pigeons were and I just love them.
Isn't it funny that if I said to you, Ash, you're fired, that would be a bad thing, but as a pot, you're fired is you're hired. It's you don't achieve to achieve the ultimate, destination for a pot, you have to be fired.
I think you've got to workshop that joke a bit more.
It's not a joke. It's an observation about perspective.
I think that joke needs to go in the kiln and get fired itself.
But that would be good. You don't mean that. You mean it needs to lose its job and be fired.
What? No, I mean it needs to be cooked up so that you've got a good line for it.
Right.
So
okay. You see, it's still at the clay stage.
I think if you employ that in a scenario based situation where you can be like, Ash, you're fired, that won't make me cry, then I think that would be really good.
Right.
I don't like hearing it.
It was more of an observation than
I know, I felt upset when you said it straight away. I was
Sorry.
Did anyone ever used to watch The Great Pottery Showdown?
Yes, I love The Great Pottery Showdown.
I can't remember the judge's name, but there's a judge on there who, whenever he sees an amazing piece of pottery, it moves him to tears.
He's just so emotional.
And every week he's like, Linda, what you've done there is just amazing. The way the handle tapers are honestly, it's honestly the most wholesome thing in the world. Imagine Bake Off, but Paul Hollywood crying instead of giving out a handshake whenever anyone baked something incredible. It's that.
This is when I was, I think in year 5, there was a famous school trip that all year 5s did from my school, and we were always really excited about it. And it was to go to Pool Pottery, which is a pottery in Pool, and
sounds like a swimming pool.
Yeah,
the way you're saying
you'd speak to all of Pool because.
No, but I mean pottery in a pool. That sounds.
Oh, I see what
fun.
you mean. Yeah. It wasn't that. It was pottery in the town of Poole. But you'd go and you'd make a pot and you paint it in lovely, and it would get fired, which is a good thing. And but that is not why everyone was excited. It's because they had a whole area of bee stock, and you could go and smash everything.
Oh my god!
They had like a sort of like a range, you could get these hard balls and throw them at stuff and smash them, and there was just a big pile of plates, and you just throw it and smash them.
God!
It was amazing. It was really good.
Wow.
Oh my god,
So,
that is sick. That is very cool.
that
Can
was
we
a
all
long
go
time
on
ago.
a pool trip? To
Yeah,
smash them?
it was really good fun, honestly.
How about you guys? Have you been up to anything? Anything fun?
I can never remember what I've been doing yesterday.
I've just been existing. Otherwise,
Yeah, I've just been running and then eating for dinner.
Living my life.
Yeah.
Is what
Let's
Rosie's been doing.
quickly talk about your running.
Aw.
How? Because you're doing a half marathon in, is it October?
October, yeah. So I'm now I believe I'm at the halfway point of my training.
And you
started in January.
on what you would consider to be zero running ability.
Yeah.
And when did you start your training?
January. I think it was mid-January probably.
Okay. So you are coming up to 6 months in now. And how's it going? How far are you running now?
Well, at the time of recording, by the time this goes out, I would have done more minutes. But at the time of recording, I have run for 1 hour, 10 minutes solidly.
That's crazy.
That's so far.
So I'm like,
I don't think I can do anything solidly for 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Let alone run.
No.
That's very impressive, Rosie.
That's crazy. Like literally just non-stop running for an hour
non-stop running. It's getting warmer now, so I've noticed, like, looking at my stats, I'm like, my speed's a little bit slower, but I'm presuming that's just because it's warmer.
Yeah.
I'm just chugging away, and I do this thing where before I go into my flat, I sit on like the doorstep for a bit because I'm smelly. I'm like a big sweaty, smelly mess, and I'm like, right, I've just got to air myself out for a bit, so I just look really sad, sat on like outside the building I live, just like sweating away. Yeah, feel like the sweat dripping down my back, and I'm just like,
Was a Parappa game been announced?
Yeah. Every time I go for a run, Parappa motivates me.
You need the shake and the scream to finish that one off, Rosie.
Yeah. But I'll do that when I've actually done the half marathon. Yeah. But I like doing a thing now. When I go for a run, I like to see if there's just something nice visually. And it's funny because when you're talking about the pigeons, literally the last run I went on, I just saw a bunch of pigeons right outside like someone's house, and I was like, what's going on? And I looked up, and there was someone literally feeding the pigeons from their windowsill. It wasn't like a ground level windowsill. It was quite high up, and then like on her actual windowsill, she had like 2 pigeons sat there with her as well. And I was just like, oh, that's really nice. And there was someone controlling an RC boat in like a river. I saw a beautiful swan at one point. So like right now I'm just going
running.
on my
Who knew?
I'm going running, and I'm just like, look at all these lovely things.
I'm seeing stuff.
I'm seeing these things. Yeah. And it's nice as well seeing other people running, and I think to myself, you've got this.
Yeah.
So some of them go a lot quicker than I do, and I'm there like, one day I will be like you.
Do you ever like share a bit of eye contact of like?
Yeah, it's really great when you do share a bit of eye contact. So you're like, like they're like, hey, or something. But I had one recently where we were both on the path. They were running, we'll go in the opposite direction. We fully had the moment where, you're like, which side of the lake?
And then you have to laugh.
Yeah, but because we were both like running, we were both kind of quickly going towards each other. We were both tired. So it was like, are exhausted, but making a joke face. It was probably my favourite interaction. He was a very happy man. And then I wish I bumped into him again, but I never did. He was like the happiest running man to bump into and have like the whole kind of gag with, like, which way are you going?
Sounds like he was chasing you, right?
No, because we went the opposite way. Although I do like playing the game now. Like when I'm running and there's 2 people walking in front or something, and let's say they're holding hands and they don't realise I'm there or something, so the whole path is like blocked up. And if there's a car coming, so I can't cross over yet, I've got headphones on.
Smash through the house.
I have headphones on, so I can't hear how heavily I'm like breathing or panting or how heavy my feet are. And then suddenly, so I'm just behind them and I see panicked face of just like, and then they realise what's going on, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm really, really sorry. And then if there's cars, then they're just really panicking. Sometimes they just carry on walking, and they're just like, I'm just like, okay, I'll pass you at some point. And then
who's mean? Who's like going? We're walking here. Like,
most of the time, I can just quickly go on like the road and just be like, and then go back in, and then I just carry on my merry way. Yeah. But I do like the awkwardness of trying to like following people, and then just their panicked faces. And I go, thank you so much. I'm sorry, whilst like panting and wheezing like. So yeah, running's go. That's how running's.
Well, it sounds like you're very much on track.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congratulations.
Is it a half marathon or a full marathon?
Half marathon.
Half marathon.
So the last one I did, I was on 9.50 something kilometers, and the half marathon is 21 and a half, I think.
So you're almost halfway.
I'm almost halfway.
And you're almost halfway to the half marathon.
Yeah, so I'm like,
it's looking good.
Well done, Rosie. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Very proud of you. You're doing well, and we look forward to hearing more. We're going to do weekly running updates now, and before we go. But until that time, sadly, we have to leave. So I'm going to say goodbye, and these guys are going to say goodbye as well.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you very soon. Come back in 2 weeks. We'll have more lovely podcast goodness. Go to the YouTube channel in the meantime. There's loads of fun announcement business going on there and coverage of loads of games that's going on. Yeah, now the podcast ends when my voice finishes. The end.
テーション